Every day, millions of angry Brits lose it. But what are the things that make us go grrr?
Something angers me every day, and it is generally due to other people's conduct.
You've got people that are just barging into you, not even saying sorry, not even saying excuse me.
When you're on the tube and you're just literally shoulder to shoulder, sweating, and the smell, you know, it's like, well, gone mad sometimes. Sometimes.
Politicians make me angry because they impose all these rules on us and they don't live by them themselves.
Nigel Farage. Every time I see his face, I just get the rage. I get the for rage.
Losing it is a situation that occurs when every other common thought that would prevent you from taking negative action is lost, and you will literally just explode.
It's time.
Oh my God!
To face.
Oh my God!
The music. As one viewer loses it during the X Factor results.
Unbelievable!
Linda Murray Patel from Scotland is a normally mild-mannered mother of two. But after a stressful week, she settled down to watch one of her favourite TV shows.
It's funny, Jordan. Oh, he's attacked!
Let's just take the X Factor or any kind of reality TV which has a competitive edge to it. Because we feel like we're an expert on the subject and that we know better than everybody else. And if our team or our group or our band or our performer doesn't win, we make that about ourselves.
Junior J! I've just fought for them 5 times!
But it has absolutely nothing to do with us. It has to do with the emotional investment and the over-identification with the person who we most favour or the band that we most favour.
Pathetic. Absolutely bloody pathetic!
She felt so strongly about this particular band, I think it was, winning. And when it didn't win, you know, she was absolutely furious. But she didn't act it out. She just used that as an opportunity to vent her feelings.
Oh dear God, our karaoke singers through?
From possibly all the frustrations and the challenge that she might have been faced with that day.
You didn't like Christopher?
I'm just in shock again.
Part of that process is to get you actively involved. And so on the basis of that, you feel like you're part of that particular show.
Unbelievable!
Get that out my face when I'm driving, son. I said get that out my face when I'm driving, you idiot. Tom! Tom, rage, will you? Get that out my face. Oh, Brett, I'll put you that one. It's open.
There's one angry group across the world that are growing in strength and numbers. OAPs.
Where is it?
Also known as overtly angry pensioners.
Calm down, what are you looking for?
Where's my goddamn candy? I put candy in the goddamn freezer for me. For me. And it's gone. Where's my goddamn candy?
What kind of candy?
What?
What kind of candy?
Doesn't goddamn matter, it was mine!
Back in Britain, this road-hogging OAP is making a point by slowing down a coach of German tourists. Now that's what you call pensioner power.
As we get older, I think there is an incredible sense of liberation, and I hope for the average human being that's how it feels. You suddenly realise, you know what, I've been around long enough. I know what's right, I know what's wrong, and I know what's unfair. And we're at a point where we feel that that wisdom enables us to have a point of view. So when we get to a certain age, we're a lot more likely to feel entitled to our views. It's that experience of entitlement.
What are you doing? Why are you trying to abduct her?
I have no concept that I'm 82. I don't feel it. It's all quite ridiculous.
Get off! Leave her alone! Get off!
Meet the aptly named Anne Power from Chorlton in Manchester, generating enough anger to feed the national grid. Octogenarian Anne has a fracking axe to grind.
When I learnt that there was a fracking site opening only 6 miles from where I live, I went along to the site. The first thing we did was to walk in front of these these convoys, a convoy of lorries, huge lorries.
Our silver warrior couldn't prevent the fracking equipment from entering the site, but she knew she could slow it down with a leisurely stroll.
Don't be ridiculous. What are these
Go. Will you keep moving then?
I only I don't even stop when you're muttering in my ear.
The police were pressing, were pushing, were not simply accepting that we were going at a slow pace or that we were going to slow things down.
She has not stopped moving, officer.
She's obstructing the highway. And if she continues, she will be arrested. She can either stand to the side or she'll be arrested. So keep moving, please.
They seemed to be on a mission to make sure we did it much quicker and even quicker.
No, she's absolutely fine. I think she's absolutely fine.
Just keep moving. She knows what she's doing. Keep moving, please.
Couldn't understand it. Had we got the freedom to slow march or not? So I found I was challenging them. My anger was just bursting out.
Why are the police pushing me? I don't understand what they're doing.
And have you consented to being touched?
No.
Have you consented to being pushed?
No.
Just wanted to be clear for the record.
I think that we become grumpy old men and women because, firstly, we get very tired of being patronised by people who are younger than us, who forget that we've actually got lots of experience and a viewpoint. And secondly, we get to the point where we think, you know what, if we're not heard, then we may as well just say what we think, because we're not winning either way, are we? But at least this way, some people will notice what we've got to say.
It felt so clear that this was an outrageous violation of people's rights.
But Anne's situation was about to get a whole lot worse.
Out of the corner of my eye, I could see a swathe of police, 15, 16 yellow jackets, kind of coming up on my right-hand shoulder. Sure enough, I was right to be alarmed, because the next thing I was kettled. I was isolated from everyone else.
What are you doing? Why are you trying to abduct her? Get off! Leave her alone! Get off!
I was beating off these police. I don't know if I hit any. I do not remember.
Shame on you!
I was, at that point, so angry I would have killed. I also thought a couple of times when I was really close to the wheels of these huge lorries, I thought one step and I could be under these, and that might make them think.
It's about making a point that is so distinct, so loud, that nobody can avoid anymore because you feel so helpless. She feels powerless. And by creating power, by harming somebody, she imagines in that moment that she would have at least been heard.
I was on the brink of beating them up. I was so angry with this nonsense that they're looking after me.
What are you doing? Why are you trying to abduct her? Get off! Leave her alone!
And all of that is what makes me unspeakably angry.
Coming up on Angry Brits.
Don't touch my cab!
Road rage cabbies learn to roll with the punches. A lawyer loses it in a tarmac tantrum.
Don't touch me! Do not touch me!
And a football fan goes over the edge.
What was that all about?
Many people lose it every day on Britain's angry roads.
Mate, why did you cut in front of me?
This lawyer sees red after trying to overtake a cyclist in the middle of the road.
What did you just do? Why not?
What we see is someone who's trying to be very rational, very reasonable, giving an explanation for how he has driven.
Well, so is your driving like that, mate?
You?
Yeah.
Overtaking somebody who's overtaking somebody else. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron.
And the cyclist who really isn't interested in listening.
You were doing over 20 miles an hour, weren't you?
So why did you want to overtake me?
So you were breaking the speed limit.
I was doing 20.
The cycle lane is not here.
There's not a cycle lane
over there,
mate.
okay?
Why were you doing over 20?
Scared that I was going to hit you.
Why did you go over 20?
You was making me scared that I was going to hit you.
Why did you go over 20?
Stop recording me! Stop
mate,
recording me!
You've got nothing to hide. Why can't I record
It's
you?
rude, that's why.
So is your
you
bloody
have stressed me
driving,
out.
mate.
Well, so was your your driving.
I'm
So
not
was your
driving,
Your
it's
driving
riding,
was
it's riding,
rude.
mate. It's
Stop
riding.
using your moronic semantics on me. I'm just
Mate,
upset
do you
because I nearly bloody hit you because
Mate,
you were 2 ways out.
Stupid. I'm not stupid.
Well, you are stupid. You are very, very stupid.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me ought to be our mantra. But if somebody calls us a name, sometimes that acts as a flashpoint.
You are stupid. You're a stupid man because you put your life in danger, you moron.
There are various trigger points where the emotion escalates. We have the moment where the lawyer uses the word moron.
Morons like you are going out in the middle of the road and are nearly being knocked over. And don't touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
We have the moment where a third person laughs.
You are stupid.
And we have the moment where the lawyer feels that the cyclist is going to touch him.
Do not touch me, okay? Do not touch me.
Why not, mate?
Because it's not allowed, it's assault.
All of those are flashpoints, and all of those raise the tension levels.
It is assault.
Just get your number plate.
I am a lawyer, okay?
You're not a very
And I
successful
know
lawyer,
the
are you?
law.
You're a lawyer, you prat. You want to grow up.
Nice one, mate.
It doesn't matter how we lose our tempers, it's more important to understand why.
Football is incredibly tribal, which is why it becomes such a passionate game. And of course, when you're playing it, the adrenaline rush is also exaggerating your reactions to things that might happen on and off the pitch.
Which is why the players and fans take the game so seriously. Adam Brindley is one such fan. He's been a firm follower of Colville Town FC for the last 7 years. Some might say he's raven mad.
I've been going to home and away games for the last sort of 4 or 5 seasons, and yeah, quite a passionate fan.
There's one particular away fixture that will stick in Adam's mind for some time. A match between Goole AFC and his beloved Colville Town.
We were 2-0 up. There was no indication that anything was going to kick off. The game itself was played in quite a nice manner.
Until Goole captain Carl Colley got sent off.
You could see Carl was upset about it as he started walking off because he threw the captain's armband down.
He then goes towards the Colville fans who are heckling and giving him a bit of banter and things like that.
Straight down into the dressing room.
There are a number of trigger points for Carl's anger. One of which would probably be anger at himself for the tackle, but then he's cross with the referee for being sent off, and then he gets heckled. Each one individually might not have made him so reckless, but as a combination, it was explosive. No footballer at any level should be allowed to get away with such behaviour, because after all, they are role models.
My initial reaction was totally out of order. He can't play for this club again.
He can't do that, mate. He can't do that. He can.
The angry player was sacked by the club, fined £150 and received an 8-month ban from the Football Association. If getting angry was a national sport in Britain, we'd be top of the league. But why does sport make us so mad?
Sport is in our DNA. I only get angry watching sports when my team is losing.
Nationally, we haven't accomplished anything, but I'm not quite sure who you get angry with.
Football, frankly, appalls me.
There's no excuse for people fighting over football when it's just guys kicking the ball about.
What else do they have to use the testosterone up on?
Sport has always been associated with letting off steam. It's about coming together for a common cause, a common belief system, experiencing that and celebrating or commiserating the result.
Some fans commiserate more than others.
Get down. Get down!
We really are herd animals. You know, that's a fact. It's a mixture of both territorial but it's also tribal. And when you mix that territorial with tribal, it can actually potentially make a very toxic cocktail. So at the point that my team loses, my only way to reclaim my position of power, psychological power that is to then act out physically or emotionally towards somebody else. The reality is, it's all happening in my head.
What a dick.
Mob mentality can lead to anger on the terraces, but the red mist can also strike when watching it on the box.
Frito, you got the last 16, but you can't beat tomatoes. Not you telling me, exotic. I'd say, you did me proud by making it the last 16, but you could have pushed yourself harder than making semi-finals or something.
A fan doesn't take the sports, the activity, as seriously as a fanatic does.
You can beat Barcelona 2-1, but you can't beat Juventus. That's ridiculous.
It has the power to make you feel great, and it has the power to make you feel devastated.
When they lose, they tend to take it personally, make it about them.
See you doing me, yes.
It's your team and it's your tribe. Simple as that.
Trains.
Do you want to smack the arm? Do you want to smack the arm?
Planes.
Stop!
And automobiles. In angry Britain, there's nothing like a spot of travel to make us lose our rag. As any taxi driver will tell you.
You get sworn at quite a bit being a cabbie.
Bus drivers indicating to pull out 10 minutes before they actually do pull out.
They'll cut you up, they'll brake hard.
Roadworks are another pet hate.
Cyclist is a nightmare for us.
Cyclist?
Yes.
Definitely cyclist.
You want to go now?
Go where?
There, me and you. There.
Yeah, you want to fight?
Come in there.
You want to fight?
Yeah.
Why do you want to fight?
Bang my head.
Why? I bang your car because you're going to hit me, idiot.
Yeah, and I'll bang you, mate.
But these London cabbies have found a unique way of venting their frustrations.
15 seconds.
So many things that cab drivers have to look out for on the roads. Pedestrians, cyclists, buses, all that sort of stuff. And because they're in there 8 hours a day, they get to that build-up point and they just need something to release. And rather than releasing it on a cyclist out on the road, just cutting someone up for something so small, they can channel it here.
What do you do? What do you do? Don't touch my cab, right? Don't touch my cab!
You're on the road all day, every day, so you see it all. And experienced cabbies like we are, see it all. Most of it, you take with a pinch of salt and you ignore. But, we're all human. We do bite sometimes. We do snap sometimes.
Did you punch my cab?
Yes, I did.
Did you dent it? Did you
Care.
dent it?
Have a look if you want. Give your distance if you don't want anyone to touch you.
It could be cyclists. It could be other cab drivers. It could be other road users. It could be female drivers. It could be male drivers. Driving around the streets of London town is a stressful job. Having a bit of banter with the boys, hitting the bag, parking the cab up for an hour, leaving the stress there on the bag as opposed to out on the road,
More boxing results now from the world of angry sport. In Thailand, they could learn a thing or two from the boxing cabbies. Seconds out for round 2. The Queensberry rules fail to mention anything about dustbin lids. Back in Britain and over to Glasgow, where a boxing match is also on the ropes as spectators vent their anger on each other.
That is enough.
It seems that everyone wanted a ringside seat, just not over the back of the head. Coming up on Angry Brits, tension mounts at St Paul's Cathedral.
There was obviously frustration and anger. That was the reason people were there.
Armed, angry and dangerous.
He came up to stab somebody and cause some serious damage, if not death.
And furious residents say no way to runway.
David Cameron, no ifs, no buts, it wouldn't happen.
Go to any town or city on a weekend night and there's a good chance you'll witness scenes such as these. If there's one thing us angry Brits are good at, it's having a skinful and then losing it.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you've drank far more than you should have drank. Your inhibitions are hugely lowered, but the problem is, so are everybody else is around you. Everybody is in that state.
It's our emergency services who routinely have to deal with the aftermath of alcohol-fuelled anger. But there's another group of individuals who are on the firing line, bouncers.
Alcohol is often a factor in aggression and high emotion because it's a disinhibitor. So whereas we might keep those emotions in check, after a few drinks, anything can happen.
Here in Durham, 2 lads have been kicking off outside a club, and it's left to the doorman to diffuse the anger.
Bouncers are not allowed to inflict violence on anyone. However, they are allowed to use reasonable force.
John, get your hands off me. John.
To me, reasonable force would be just being asked to leave. But to somebody else, reasonable force may be physically removing them from an environment.
This bouncer appears to lose it when a punter refuses to take no for an answer. As the saying goes, if your name's not down, you're not getting in.
Go away!
I work northwest London, and some venues it's really relaxed atmosphere. Other ones, you know, it's very challenging in terms of arguments going on all the time, drunk people, and yeah, it's pretty much a variation of, you know, every night's a different night, really.
25-year-old Joe Simmons has been working the doors of London's pubs and clubs for the past 5 years. But there's one angry incident that tested his security skills to the limit.
The first I saw of it was when I saw two guys, older guys, chasing one guy. About 10 minutes afterwards, I then see the 2 guys that were chasing a single guy running back the other way. One of the guys continued on, and then the other one just kind of sat down on one of the benches outside the pub. He was shouting that he got stabbed in the back, he had blood pouring down his face. He looked like he's been in a fight. Looked him over, you know, assured him that he wasn't stabbed in the back or nothing, and tried to clean up the blood a little bit on his face. 2 or 3 minutes after he was sitting down, the other guy came running back, very drunk, very angry. He was in a very, you know, erratic state of, like, you know, emotional state of mind where anything that anyone would have said to him would have made a difference. I noticed he had a knife in his hand. Big kitchen knife. At that point, I was kind of like, okay, this is not good. So I tried to get the guy, right, inside the pub. I didn't want him anywhere near the guy with the knife. One of the punters tried to speak to this guy with a knife, tried to relax him and say, listen, mate, it's not something you want to do. The more he was speaking to him, the more erratic he was becoming, and more like, where is he? Really getting angry.
The thing about fear is it comes from the fight-flight response. So basically, if something's coming towards you to attack you, you have 2 options. One is to run like hell because you're scared, and the other is to use that fear and become protective and aggressive so you confront the situation.
I saw an opportunity, right? For a second, his glance turned away from me, so I just jumped him. Grabbed the arm of the knife, pushed him like as far as I could, like as well, like holding the knife away from me, and tried to tackle him. I just knew that knife couldn't touch me, so I gripped his arm as hard as I could and refused to let go.
Fear is very much linked in those scenarios to anger. It's a survival mechanism. It's the only thing that will make sure that you walk away from that situation.
I was twisting his arm in a way where it was very painful for him, so he just kind of like had to drop the knife. I was able to, get the knife out of his hand and then restrain him up against one of the cars with help from another punter from the pub. He also came and took another arm, and then we kind of like squashed him against the car so he had nowhere to go. This guy didn't come out to cut somebody, he came out to stab somebody and cause some serious damage, if not death.
After being disarmed, the unidentified assailant was calmed and released. The incident went unreported and the police were not involved.
1, 2, 3, set us free!
Britain may be angry, but we should be thankful that we still live in a democracy where we're allowed to voice that anger through free speech.
When people come together for a cause, there's a few key components of this. It's justified anger. It's then reinforced by the community, the collective, and it also means that hopefully our voices are heard because we are a collective, we are a community of voices.
In September 2011, a new collective called Occupy took over Wall Street in New York, the people's protest for social and economic equality. Heavy-handed police tactics, including the use of pepper spray, provoked anger and further Occupy campaigns around the world, including one in Britain.
Occupy London was a focus born out of frustration and anger. It was a manifestation in many ways of the sentiment that was being felt throughout British population and world population at the time.
Bear Smith is an events organiser who took part in the protest outside St Paul's Cathedral in October 2011.
This is a peaceful protest!
There was obviously frustration and anger. That was the reason people were there.
We're pissed off with being treated like sheep. We're pissed off with being enslaved. We're pissed off with the 1% making all the money and the 99% offer the 99% backs. Why can't they just take responsibility for their own actions and their own failings and let the system be rebuilt?
When it comes to bankers, governments, large organizations, multinationals, they become a locus of our attention. And so the idea is that we can project all our frustrations and all our anger onto them. If it's going to give us some relief by communicating and expressing ourselves in the way that we need to, as long as it doesn't become violent, keep doing it.
At first, there was a very carnival feel, it was very joyous, an amazing spirit of camaraderie. That's when it became one of the most magical things I've ever experienced. After that first night, the police realised that we weren't going to leave, we were going to stay there.
The protesters camped out at St Paul's for almost 4.5 months. But in February 2012, a court injunction was granted to allow police to remove them.
Get him up!
At the point where violence, the people versus the police, come into play, that's when we have massive and major problems that come out of situations like that.
Almost immediately, the mood changed at St Paul's and the anger spilled over from both protesters and police.
Hold up!
As a result, police made 20 arrests and bailiffs were called in to help clear the site.
One of the triggers for anger is not being listened to. And when our needs are not being taken seriously, that gives us a reason and justifies us expressing and venting our anger.
After hours of angry scuffles, the site was finally cleared. The Occupy movement continues to grow globally, but as the event at St Paul's showed, there's no quick fix for long-term change. Neil Curvern knows all about protesting. The 55-year-old builder has built rather a nice life for himself in the quaint English village of Harmondsworth on the outskirts of London. Unfortunately, Neil's picture postcard village is situated right next door to this. Heathrow, one of the largest airports in the world. And if business folk get their way, it's about to get a whole load bigger.
My village is being demolished.
The people who own Heathrow want to build a third runway.
No ifs, no buts, we promised, no third runway.
So soon, planes could be landing on Neil's doorstep.
Cameron is just a liar, and we have to live with it. It's the busiest airport in the world. I don't think there's any desperate need to change a lot at this stage.
It's a heated debate that has been running for years. But at the last election, David Cameron promised there would be no third runway. Now, as the campaign over Heathrow intensifies again, so does Neil's anger.
There are two options for runways here. One is that all of that goes. The whole village just vanishes under concrete. The second one, a short distance down this road, will be the boundary of the airport, and the runway will literally be there. This will not be livable. This is my roots, is my home, and you know I'm not going to give it up. They have to drag us out.
An Englishman's home is his castle. And so on the basis of that, we become very, very protective around our castles, around our moats, around our backyards. Anybody who threatens that, of course, triggers my anger, and I have to do something about it.
Buoyed by support from the frustrated villagers, Neil takes on the parliamentary suits of Westminster.
Can I give you a leaflet, sir? No third runway.
All right.
No ifs, no buts, no third runway. Can I give that, please?
No, I'm all in favour of a third runway, please.
But no, we have a promise from David Cameron that says no ifs, no buts, no third runway. It's a last chance to stop noise overhead, last chance of air pollution, last chance of environment. My village is being demolished. My village is being demolished. It says vote for change, vote Conservative.
You asked me what my opinion is, I've given.
It's for it. It's for a third runway. Told me outright. Hello, sir. Can I offer you a leaflet? We're looking for David Cameron. No ifs, no buts, we promised. No third runway.
I love David Cameron.
I love him too. I vote for him.
Love him.
There's so many different areas in our lives where our constitutional rights are being eroded. And on the basis of our constitutional rights being eroded, we just become angrier and angrier and angrier.
Well, listen, you're trying to antagonise me. I voted for David Cameron because he told me this. So where's the democratic process there?
I don't know. It's terrible, isn't it?
You're taking the piss a little bit, aren't you, that tone? My house, listen, my house is due to be demolished.
I'm about to go and have a meeting, I'm late.
Yeah, well, take one, please. Take one in and show him. Tell him we're coming. It's just blank. He said, I've got no time to go to a meeting. I said, well, just take one and read it. But David Cameron, no ifs, no buts, it wouldn't happen. Basically, he's a liar. Cameron is just a liar, and we have to live with it.
Coming up on Angry Brits, protesters do the funniest things. The ladies of Buckton WI bear almost all. And consumer carnage when Black Friday comes to the UK.
This is mine.
People are gonna start pushing. Oh gosh.
Oh, it's gonna get crazy.
Oh my God.
In the United States, there's a holiday tradition that can quickly turn from joy to anger.
It's gonna get nuts.
Black Friday officially marks the start of the Christmas shopping season.
Oh, this is crazy.
What goes through our head when we're queuing prior to a store opening, when a sale is about to start, is one of competitiveness.
When this many people want a sale, things could get nuts. Too many people want to save $1.
Yep.
Like many stateside traditions, Black Friday has now crossed the pond to the UK.
Dude, that's stupid.
Much to the delight of Kush Shah and Diran Debasia from Stanmore.
I looked at the newspaper and they had ads promoting a Black Friday sale, so I said, yeah, okay, it looked quite intriguing.
The two lads had set their sights on a cut-price TV, but they weren't the only ones.
Everyone was like staring at each other. It was like a Mexican shootout.
Yo! Watch out.
And that's when people started pushing each other. Arguments started occurring.
I was getting a bit angry because people were pushing and shoving me. People were just jumping on each other's backs. There were old ladies getting pushed around. People were pretty close to punching each other just to get the TVs and get their hands on them. People were angry because there was limited stocks. Everyone just wanted the product.
Yo, watch out.
The thrill of the chase turns into anger the moment it looks like someone is going to get the one thing that we've set our heart on.
One guy saw the Polaroid too, he put his hand on it, he started exchanging words like, oi, that's mine, you can't take it.
This is mine, this is mine.
It was madness.
Similar store wars erupted around the country as battling bargain hunters clashed.
Oi, move from my granddad. Move from my granddad. Move from my granddad, man. It's only a telly, man. It's only a telly, man. People kicking off for a telly, man. All right. I knew it was going to happen. Move.
You could describe it as dog eat dog. Everyone is out for themselves.
In spite of being caught up in the angry crush, the boys' Black Friday experience turned out to be a fruitful one.
We managed to buy 3 TVs actually at £99, so we later sold them one for a profit. Yeah.
Which in itself might make some folk just a little bit angry. In rural Cambridgeshire, the heart of the peaceful home counties, you might think there'd be nothing to get angry about. But you'd be wrong. There's a roundabout that's driving the ladies of Buckton Women's Institute round the bend.
We're angry for anybody on that roundabout because it's quite frightening.
You need to hear it from us, who live in the village, who have to go out of the village. We're the ones who are suffering with a bloody awful roundabout.
Well, the A1 is the main trunk road from London up to Scotland, and Buckton Roundabout is the last one as you go out from London, and it's the first one as you come in from Scotland. And what people seem to have forgotten when they get there is that they have to actually pause and let people out of places like our little village. But they're not slowing down and they're not prepared to stop. I indicate right, and then I get here and indicate left. But you see, they're only just managing to stop coming down. But I'm deliberately slowing down so that I can let some of my fellow villagers out of the village. And that's how we do it. We deliberately slow down, which is putting ourselves in more of a hazard. It's just an accident waiting to happen.
We want to be heard, not hurt.
I'm very angry that it's come to this.
Fear is a very human response, and it usually invokes some form of anger as a form of defence.
The leader of the Buckton WI was so incensed, she started to lose sleep over the rage-inducing roundabout.
One night I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought, I know what, I'm going to rewrite the words to Jerusalem. We sang them and we thought, well, just singing them wasn't enough. We needed to make it stand out a bit more. And someone said about the calendar girls, and we thought, well, we could do that.
About a third of the way through, on cue, we both rose very slowly. And looked at each other and carried on singing. Almost ladylike, weren't we?
Makes a change.
We use humour as a way of getting our anger across because it doesn't threaten and it isn't violent, but it's very subtle and often makes the point far more effectively.
And taking your clothes off seems to be a popular choice. The annual naked bike ride takes place not just in angry Britain, but all over the world. The Bear As You Dare bicycle ride promotes a reduction in vehicle emissions and cyclist awareness. If they want to be more noticeable on the roads, maybe they should try wearing high-vis vests instead. The internet is awash with clips of people kicking off and lashing out and generally losing it. Most are genuine incidents, but it's not always easy to tell. This revenge clip posted in 2013 is a case in point.
So I was just checking my emails, and Becky, my wife, had left her email open. There's one from some sort of rural dating site. I thought that's a bit strange. So I signed in, here's the profile, Becky Jones, 37. There she is, beautiful. And I went down and it says, oh yeah, she's married, fantastic. And I read her profile. I have a confession to make. My husband doesn't know I'm on here. Well, I do now, darling. He's been married for 5 years and he's a complete idiot and completely crazy. Love two things in my life, my horses and my convertible Peugeot. Unfortunately for you, I have the keys to your lovely convertible Peugeot. Let's see how crazy I am.
So just pick up some of your favourite horsemen here and we'll see what we can do with them. So here you go. Just about to get around to see the beautiful Peugeot. Oh dear. There you go, sweetheart. Happy Valentine's Day.
That should show how crazy I am. Oh dear. Her pride and joy. What do you think to that? Not very cool, is it?
But there's more than one way to kick up a stink. This farmer from Northumberland sprayed his local bank with manure, accusing them of mismanaging his funds, much to the surprise of the onlooking bank staff. The police intervened and the farmer was fined for his actions. But after a 10-year battle, the farmer reached an out-of-court settlement with the bank for £300,000. Which just goes to show, where there's muck, there's brass.
Human beings are absolutely amazing, and if they learn how to cope with anger and learn how to recognise the symptoms of getting into that position, then of course they can control it.
Don't touch me! Do not touch me! Do not touch me!
The problem is, there is a high proportion of individuals out there who don't want to. They're quite happy with the way that they lose it.